there's a moment in the book where I talk about, rather nostalgically, about my time at university where we would sit up all night arguing, getting drunk, arguing robustly about politics, and still being friends the next day, and it was all cool, and it was sort of part of it. There was a fun to it. I don't know if I think those days are gone. I don't think you can do it anymore. I mean, certainly, I have some friends I can still do that with, and because I'm not party political, you know, they can't always predict where I stand on certain issues, and arguments do ensue, but not vicious and not just robust disagreements. That's great. That's what we should be striving for. And that's why this cherry picking of Charlie Kirk's videos to show how he was an evil person because he disagreed with me on this or this and this, it's infantile. Actually, I think the whole culture war could be boiled down to a kind of mass infantilism. You know, an inability of adults to behave like adults. Tantrumizing, which is not a word, I've just made it up, but mass tantrumizing. I just see it absolutely everywhere. I'm sick of it, actually. It bothers me. Disagreement is healthy. It's something we should be encouraging. And we certainly shouldn't feel threatened by it. Why should I feel threatened if you disagree with me on any particular point? I welcome that. Why? Because I guess, well, firstly, I might be wrong. I mean, there is a real lack of humility in all of this stuff. When someone disagrees with you, if you take offense or think that is signifies that individual is evil, that is a narcissistic response. Because what you are saying is, my position is the default of humankind, and anyone who deviates is either lying or evil or stupid. How about maybe you're wrong? Or maybe the topic is a bit more nuanced than that, and you can meet somewhere in the middle. Why do we argue? We argue partly to refine our own position, but also because we're aware that we're wrong about a lot of things at any given time, and we need to be challenged. And also, there is an element of truth to every perspective, however abhorrent it might be. There's always something in there. So why have we got into that position? Well, I think it comes back to education. I think it comes back to a failure of education and a failure of socialization. It shouldn't be a threat to hear a plurality of ideas. It shouldn't be threatening to acknowledge that we're bound to be wrong about certain things. I mean, it's an old dictum, isn't it? But the wiser you are, the more you know how little you know. And that surely should be the baseline for limited creatures that we are. We're not demigods. We're not capable of omniscience. So why not just acknowledge that and stop demonizing it? I mean, that's the other thing. I think there's a kind of pseudo-theological aspect to all of this, which is the division of the world into good and evil. It's very simplistic. Disney's done it for years. You can always spot a baddie in Disney because they're ugly. Very convenient. Apart from Hunchback of Notre Dame, of course. But why divide the world into good and evil in that way when we know that every individual is capable of both? Kind of incoherent. But we do it anyway.
Well, because most people are not reading Notes from Underground or fucking like the Gulag Archipelago, because it's hard and complex, and it's easier to have the Big Bang Theory or whatever the equivalent is.
Although Notes from Underground is the shortest of his books. You can do it in a day.
Yeah. We didn't finish out. What does the future look like? Projecting out.
We didn't because I've been drinking this energy drink. I went off on a tangent. Yeah. I didn't let you finish it.
All right, it's high velocity stuff. Let's get back into it.
So what was the question again?
What do you think? What happens next?
You want me to do my Mother Shipton and predict the future?
Yeah, divination, Cassandra, whatever you want to call yourself.
Do you know Mother Shipton?
No.
You should, because you're a northerner.
Okay.
If you go to Knaresborough, do you know Knaresborough? Yeah. Go to Knaresborough, you can visit the cave where Mother Shipton lived. She was a medieval prophetess.
Okay.
She lived in a cave, and you can go and visit her cave.
Does it give you, do you get the gift of prescience by going there, or what?
I didn't.
Right.
But that
well, we'll see. We'll see what
we'll see in a minute.
Now, and then compare it in 12 months' time.
By the way, just to say, there's a well. There's a little well by the cave. One of the reasons they thought she was magical is that this well was surrounded by stone animals, and they thought that she had the power to turn creatures into stone. And what it was is that well is a petrifying well, and it has certain chemicals and elements within it that if you leave any dead body or any organic material in it for long enough, it will turn to stone. And that's why people have you can see there's stone handbags and stone shoes and things that people have left to turn to stone. It's interesting.
Very cool.
Anyway, people don't know enough about Mother Shipton, do they? Anyway, my point was she predicted the Great Fire of London. How about that? Not bad. But she also said the end of the world would come in 1991. And I think she just said it because it rhymed. It wasn't true. Anyway, let's move on to my own prediction and my own prediction of what will happen next. I think I make the case in the book. I don't know, but what is for certain is that authoritarianism, as the default condition of humankind, will definitely re-emerge, and we probably better be vigilant about it and look out for where it might come from. And I am nervous about a backlash against woke authoritarianism that says, well, now it's our turn. I think that's a worry.
In a way that we've already seen it with cancel culture.
Yeah. Or, the current president of the United States, Donald Trump, who thinks that you should go to prison for burning a flag. Well, he said that more than once. That's not a liberal position, is it? I mean, that's an authoritarian position, and that shouldn't happen. I think what would happen is if he did try and push that through, the Supreme Court would overrule it, but nonetheless, that's worrying. I don't think... and again, the backlash against liberalism, because people have misunderstood liberalism, and they blame liberalism for what's gone wrong with the culture war. People are now saying liberalism didn't work, so we now need our own form of authoritarianism to deal with the problems of leftist authoritarianism. And that's just going to exacerbate the problem. Yeah, it's crazy. The argument I make in the book is that we need to install actual liberal values, which say that, individual autonomy and freedom of speech, freedom of conscience, freedom of belief, freedom of assembly.
What's freedom of conscience?
As in, you're free to believe whatever you believe, whatever your morality, within, and this is a key caveat, within the rule of law, right? So, one of the aspects of liberalism that isn't understood, people think it's a free-for-all. People think they mean you can selfishly do whatever you want and there's no consequences. That's the opposite of liberalism. Because as I trace in the book, every great liberal thinker has said and understood that the rule of law and the social contract that we develop together is an essential aspect of the preservation of a liberal system. A liberal system can only work if you have those frameworks in place. That doesn't mean to say that the law can't be wrong, that there can't be unjust laws. That's why liberalism takes so long to build into society. Because it's a constant negotiation of challenging the things that are wrong in society and debating them and arguing in the marketplace of ideas and all those things. And if you jettison all of that because we've allowed woke authoritarianism to win out temporarily, then you're just gonna it's gonna rebound on you eventually. Don't instill a new form of authoritarianism into society that will then establish a precedent that will undermine your own position, because that's what always happens. And you can just look at history. You know that this is where we're leading. So whether that will happen or not, I mean, a lot of the rhetoric about deportations, for instance, there are people who would like to take that to an extreme degree, I think. Zero tolerance for people making mistakes, as you've said with cancel culture and the things that people say. The compiling of lists for wrongthink. All of that stuff makes me very nervous, just because I know enough I'm not a historian, but I know enough about history to know where that leads and what that looks like. And I know enough about history to know that it's best avoided.
Andrew Doyle, ladies and gentlemen. Dude.
Cheers.
Cheers indeed.
Nice to see you.
Where should people go? Check out the book, check out everything else that you're doing. And what is next for you now that you're in the US?
Well, I've moved to the US, as I say, to start this company, Friendly Fire Studios, working with Rob and Graham and Martin, and we're writing things, and we're going to hopefully start producing some comedies and some films. That's the goal. It's early days, so I can't really say too much because I don't know. Going back to creativity, I think, is key for me, because I fear that being too steeped in the culture war for too long can drive anyone mad.
Well, you become an engine, right? You sort of a conveyor belt for stimulus comes in the front, and a condensed version of what that was out the back. And you don't want to be the final guy in the human centipede of whatever today.
What a way to put it.
Yeah.
It's just great, because also writing creatively again, it's been so liberating. And also, and I'm working on a new series of lectures for the Peterson Academy, because I did one on Shakespeare's tragedies last year. So So I'm doing one on Shakespeare's comedies now. So I've been rereading all the comedies, and it's been just a joy. It's like,
Breath of fresh air.
yeah, it's like, you're reading. I mean, Shakespeare wrote, he wrote what, 37 plays. About half of them are masterpieces. So you're bathing in some of the greatest work that has ever been committed to paper, and it's a reminder of what we are at risk of losing. I think literature and art is one of the pillars of civilization, and so there's nothing more rewarding than immersing yourself in that. And of course, this was my doctorate was in Shakespeare, so I'm going back to stuff I was once immersed in, and I loved it, and so it's so refreshing to be able to. So in terms of what I'm going to be doing, yeah, those lectures are coming up. So if you join the Peterson, or sort of enroll at the Peterson Academy, you can see my lectures on Shakespeare's tragedies, and then soon the comedies. And I'll be writing, hopefully you'll see some sitcoms and films come out with my name attached to them. And or in the meantime, you can read my Substack, which is andrewdoyle.org, or my book End of Woke. It's the new book that I've written, or any of my other books if you like. No pressure. And so I'm easy enough to find. Just go online, follow the trail of sulfur. You can sniff me out. I'm told that I'm evil, so it shouldn't be difficult for you to locate me.
All right, man. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for tuning in. If you enjoyed that episode, you will love this one with Mr. Naval Ravikant. It's first episode in 6 years. Go on. Press it.
Моргнуть не успели, а уже...
Here we go. You've found the dreadnought. Now you just need to make it come out of hibernation by destroying the cocoons. Show them what a single dwarf can do. That will teach you! Eat it! Say hello to my little friend! You want some more? Loot bug looted! This makes my whole life better! Loot bug eliminated! Morning twice between the eyes! Swallow this! Resupply prepared. Clear the landing zone of obstacles. Morning twice between the eyes! Dark history! We got a ranger. Nice shot! Really sweet! Yes, please!
can rarely pick one of these. You want some more? One down! This horror thinks it can kill us. Let's prove it wrong. Meet your maker, Drake! This one's the best! You ugly son of a bitch! Let's show them some pie! Come and get me, you big fuck! Swallow this! You ugly son of a bitch!
Done, team. Immediate dreadnought threat eliminated. Well done. Objective completed. Drop pod has arrived. Get there now. It will leave without you. Congratulations. One less dreadnought to worry about. Management sends their regards.